Washington.
This is Martin for here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamarty4 here once again, and we are here to talk about an actually good episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta this week. This episode is called The Truth Hurts, and baby, this was some shit. This is some interesting shit. But one thing, if you guys remember, for those of you who've been subscribed to me for about at least a year now, you guys can remember Rufus. You remember my dog Rufus? My dog is back with me. Roo, come here. Come here, Stinky. Come here, Stinky. Come here. Come on. Hop your lazy ass up here. He gonna make me chase him. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Oh, you are big. You know that? This is my little fat man. Yeah. Yeah. Say hey to the people. Say hey to the people. What? Say hey to the people. Do the nay-nay. Say no, I will not subject my dog to the nay-nay. But yeah, this is Rue. We wanted to say hi. But we're gonna get into this here episode. Okay, you've been up long enough. Say bye. Bye. Mwah. Now get out. Anywho, I just want to show y'all him since he's back here with me. But we'll go ahead and get started. And Kina in this club and Tony, her husband, and all this shit. Now I'm confused because at first she was saying her and Tony, or Tony is trying to convince her to put all her money, like if they spend this money, they can't get a Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sorry. He's talking about if they spend all this money, they can't even afford to get like a fucking Happy Meal. So, but then the next thing, she turns around in the confessional and starts talking like, oh, it's only like a large lump sum of money. So I'm like, is this a go for broke thing or not? And she, my dog and his squeaky toy in the background. Really? You've been doing sitting, chilling, laying down, sleeping all day long. Now you want to act up? Yes, you. Pay him no mind. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out like which is it? Mona, your actors ain't getting their stories right, girl. So I'm like, if this is really like, I'm not gonna do it. If this is really all of your money, it's just stupid. It would be stupid on you and your husband's part to invest all of your money when you just got birth to a newborn baby. Y'all know babies cost arm, legs, kidneys, and eyeballs these days just for, you know, daycare, diapers, formula, all of that stuff. Just off the jump cost a pretty penny. So for you to put all your money in there, I'm just like, why is it even up for consideration? Like, you just want to put support your husband. Okay, we can support you. I can, you know, support you with the roof over my head. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily see why this is such a discussion. I mean, I know he wants to, you know, invest in something to help them make money, but I'm like, who was it that said that? Was it Joseline? I can't remember who it was. Kina was talking to, like, well, shit, if he wants to invest that kind of money, why don't he just invest that kind of money into you and your album? And I'm just like, hello. So they got that whole situation going. I don't really much understand what the problem is, but she's gonna go ahead with this club anyway. They went out and looked at the club. The club was kind of cute, but still, you just never know if places like that are gonna pop off or if they're not. It's all dependent on marketing. So if that's what the girl wants to do, more power to her. I like Kina. She's cool on the cast so far. She's kind of like the level-headed person of the cast who isn't really into everything. But we'll see how that goes for you, girl. I'm wishing, you know. What the fuck? The hell was that? Come in on such a straight. Yeah. Peace be with her. Put it up to the Lord. Next we're gonna talk about. Well, I think I'm put two certain topics to the wayside, to the end. I want to get through all this and not as important shit first. Before, I'm sorry, I just keep. Damn you, dog. Look, hold on. This dog, this is what this dog has been sitting here squeaking with during my video. Go get this thing. Keep it over there. Shit. But anyway, I'm gonna leave the You're gonna drive me crazy. We're gonna have to talk about this. You hear me? This kid, I'm working. Nah. Shit. Lord, give me strength. I love him though. That's my baby, but I'm gonna leave Mimi's situation, Mimi, Arian, and them over there. We're gonna put them over there for right now, and then I'm gonna take that whole Kadia and Jock thing and Baby Mama thing. We're gonna wrap that up. Put that over there for right now. We're gonna come back to her. I just want to say those for last because those are gonna be the bulk. Let me get through the rest of this shit. That's the good shit. Joseline meets with Stevie and finally decides to tell him what the fuck her problem was, why she decided to throw orange juice on his face out of goddamn nowhere. And when she says, "Oh, you've been working with Jessica Diane, Tiffany Fox, and I'm the only person you should be working with is me. I'm an international superstar. I'm the only person you should like." All of that shit, the whole spiel that I talked about last week. Stevie J's like, I don't even know. Well, I haven't worked with Jessica Diane Peace in the studio. And last time I saw Tiffany Fox was before I went to rehab. So all of what you're talking about ain't even valid, bitch. So he's like, I ain't even worked with that bitch. Like, what are you talking about? So, let's see. They decide to hug it out and become friends. You gonna be my husband. And, oh, I'm gonna be the best husband. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and blah 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 blah. But she came to him originally because Kina asked Joseline to perform at her club since she's gonna go through with this whole crazy deal, child. She's like, okay, well, I know one way to get a crowd coming in is to invite Joseline Hernandez, which I guess is semi-true, but I mean, if you tell me that Joseline is performing somewhere, I'm going to wonder what she's performing and why. And I think I would go not for her performance, but just to see if she's going to get into any shenanigans. She call it shenanigans. Whatever that word is that come out of her mouth. But yeah, I just really want to get through all that bullshit so that I can get. My dog has to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to hurry this on along. No! My notes. Please hold. Okay. Rasheeda meets up with Ashley to talk about the disrespect issue that they both have. And personally, y'all both were stupid in your own fashions. You both were immature in your own fashions. Rasheeda, I felt like you should have been handling Kirk this whole time. Really, you should have got rid of Kirk a long time ago so none of this would have happened. But since you didn't, we have to, talk about this. And Ashley, she did kind of fuck up. She did just kind of start off on the gate, coming up with a married man, entering his house. I mean, I guess they weren't fucking. Well, at least to our knowledge, they weren't fucking. So, we really can't get too mad, but still. She was, came up talking about the Buckhead office. She done slid into the photo shoot when they first met and just kind of knocked Rasheeda off the damn shit. So, this dog made me so mad. I'm going to actually pause this, take him, because I don't want him to pee on my shit. I'm going to pause this, take him out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back. I'm not really sure exactly where it is that I left this off at, but I'm going to assume that everything that I covered as far as that whole Ashley and Rasheeda thing was said. And yeah, we're going to move on to the good shit. The good shit, we're going to start with this Mimi, Arian, Margo shit. So, the discussion is, Arian and Margo met up, and Margo was saying, of course she's sticking with her stick to her husband. She doesn't believe that, Nikko did this. She believed that Mimi orchestrated the whole thing, masterminded, or what have you. And of course, Arian is still kind of teetering like, well, okay, I know this about Mimi. I've known Mimi for a long time. I don't believe this is what she's told me. This is what I, I don't necessarily believe this, that, and the fourth. And Margo says something along the lines of there was a third person that they talked to in agreement to their deal or something like that. I didn't really too much understand what it was exactly she was saying, or she's saying that there's a third person that knows everything that happened between Mimi and Nikko, or like is the third person is the person who recorded all their conversation. I wasn't exactly sure what it was she was saying, but that pretty much the point is that pretty much piqued Arian's interest, and so now Arian is at a point where it's like, okay, all these things are coming at me. I was told one thing by Mimi. I was told a general understanding by Mimi once, and now here she is coming with all these other things that I guess sound interesting enough that they could be true. So she's going, now she went back to Mimi, and she's basically like, yo, this is what I've heard, this is how I feel about it, and if you lying to me, I'm gonna need you to expose yourself now, or at least say what it is that's going on right here, right now, before Margo and Nikko does. And Mimi just feels like, so taken aback that, she is, going behind her back and, talking to Margo about something that happened a year ago. Now, here's the whole thing. I can understand why Mimi is upset, because if you're supposed to be my ride or die bitch, and you go and talk to the hoe that's talking shit about me, and you contemplating and considering, her side, I kind of feel like that's some old low down backstabby type shit, Arian. And that you should, be riding down with me and just should be like, well, fuck what you talking about. I don't believe you and all the other shit. That's on one hand. But on the other hand, playing devil's advocate here and looking at Arian's side, you lied to me about this already. Okay, she first said, oh, there's only one tape. I didn't know anything about it, or some bullshit she was saying when she first started talking about Rasheeda and Arian about the tape. And so now you come back and say, oh, there's several tapes. Oh, I did sign this deal, or something that she lied about before. And she ended up telling Arian, okay, this is actually the truth. So for Arian to, come at you like, hey, is this really what the deal is? Because you already lied to me first. Like, I have reason to believe that you're still holding stuff back from me, and I don't want anything like this to come out and me be blindsided by it. So I'd rather hear it from you than, hear some blog or it blow up in some viral mess. Okay, that's pretty much what Arian was trying to say. Like, but Mimi kept going off like, well, I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you anything. I feel like you should, be my friend and this, that, and the fourth. Which I guess in some ways she's right. She, I guess that's a private thing. She doesn't have to run down each individual detail about what happened, I guess. But I mean, for your best friend, and if this is something that was public and she's trying to protect your name, if this is somebody that I'm close to, I would just go ahead and just say what it is, because I feel like it's going to do more hurt to just try to come out with it later. So I feel like that's where Arian's coming from. I see why people are trying to be like, she's low down, but in some sense, it's kind of like, well, this bitch here she's only giving me pieces of what she wants me to know. And here this other person is, aka Margo, trying to offer me, like, hey, this is the other piece as far as we know it. And so I'm like, I would have did, what Arian did, like, yo, this is what I'm being told. This isn't coinciding with what you said. And I just want to know, I don't want anything to come out later because you told me some shit that wasn't true before. So I want you to come to me now and tell me, is this true? What is the real motherfucking tea? Okay, that's the chance that Arian was trying to give. But maybe wanted to get all defensive and do all this other bullshit. And now at the end of the she gonna talk about there's somebody who I should have been truthful with from the beginning, and I should go try to keep it a secret. And I watched Squeaky Joe's video, and she said it was Margo. I think it's Margo too, because I can't think about anybody else that she's talked to recently that she would think, oh, I have to be truthful with this person. So And then Forrest Rocks claimed that Margo and Mimi are going to turn out to be friends, which I think would work. I feel like that's a story that Mona would try to pull. So that's what I think we're going to see next week as far as whoever Mimi is meeting up with. And lastly, let us talk about KD, Jock, and the Baby Mama Club. Okay. So, you remember last week, I didn't talk about this last week, when KD was booty butt naked in the salon and Jock and said some sweet nothings to her, and now she's just dumb enough to take him back. That was your first mistake. Well, that's not your first mistake, but that's your latest mistake, girl. What? Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We here to talk about this meeting. So there's 4 women, okay, that we know. I don't really recall each of their names, but I remember each of their like roles in Jock's life. You got the OG, who was like his first ride or die. The first girl, I guess he was with of the group that he had kids with. The first girl he had kids with, that he was with like 14 years ago. Then you got the wife. I believe her name is Alex. Okay, she's still, I thought it was like ex-wife. Like, no, they're still considered married. They're not divorced yet. So you got her. Then you got this girl named Carla, who was just an ex-girlfriend, who had another set of twins. And then you got the 4th chick, Kina. So that's all 4 baby mamas. Now, they all get along copacetically. They all cool. They all have this year-round meeting with, each other, for the sake of the kids and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's cute. That's a good idea. Maybe Future's baby mama should try this out. But as far as I know, all his baby mamas get along too. But anyway, that's what we're here to talk about. So they're drinking, they're having a good time, they chatting it up, they're doing all this shit. Then, Jock walks his charcoal black ass into the goddamn room with Kadia. Now, just this alone was not a good idea. I really hate to say that because I couldn't even think of a better idea. Because I know they're trying to incorporate Kadia because she's the current person he's seeing. But that group is for baby mamas. Even though they hate that term. But that's still for, they're together because they have children together by the same man. So their children are siblings and they want to, get along for the sake of the kids. That's the bond they created. Just because you dating don't mean that they necessarily need to get along. Okay? So she brings him in, and I'm thinking Kadia. Well, no, I didn't think this. I was just about to lie. I was thinking Kadia was gonna be, cool and calm with it. No, she walked in and was like, "Hey, Hosina, and the rest of y'all." She already came in guns and motherfucking blazing, and so then it just goes off from there. Cena starts talking about, "You stupid ass bitch! I tear this shit up. I do this. I do that. I'm a blah 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 yada yada yada." While the other baby mamas are carrying her into the bathroom. Now, this is the part where I got my life because the wife started be like, "Look, you can't let this motherfucker get up in your feelings, have control of you every time he comes around. You are a grown-ass woman. If you let somebody, control you like that, you give them all the power." And she was like, if that was the case, if I was, bothered by every situation like that, I'll be beating the fuck out of everybody up in here, namely all the baby mamas, because she's technically the wife. But even though they've been separated, but it's still crazy. But she had a point, and she looked serious. She looked like she was ready to nook and buck. Okay? And so then the wife goes to KD, and it was like, "Look, I don't know you. I'm going to just talk to you like this. You are with my husband." And he's like, he's a great man, but he just has a problem with women. So you knew that this man had 4 baby mamas and 8 kids. So why would you figure that he would be any different with you than he was with us? Which is true that I've said about that. And in Sierra's situation, KD, you can even take the other baby mamas out the situation. You were fucking Jock every night, like you told to Carly Red. So why is it a surprise to you that he would be fucking somebody else? If he cheats with you, he'll cheat on you. Can I get an amen in the sanctuary? Like, you can't expect a man to cheat with you on somebody else and then just expect you and him to be faithful. Like, he's a cheater. Like, I don't see why you should be surprised by that. And that's kind of like what the wife was saying. Like, you knew what you were getting into when you got into this, honey. Like, why are you sitting here being, feeling some sort of way? Now, be that as it may, KD still felt like, she was going back and forth with the mama. She was going back with the wife, I should say, back and forth with, a couple of the other girls. And Jock was just sitting over there like, just trying not to get caught in the goddamn crossfire. And later on, he goes, they talk it out. She's like, look, fuck you, nigga. Fuck everything you talking about. I ain't, all that bullshit. And she leaves and goes home. He says he meets with KD the next day and says that he ended up sleeping in his car, trying to get like a sympathy type deal. But KD analyzed that shit and was like, so he says that he left from their meeting place, wherever that was, went to Cena's house to check if she's okay. I think he said he called the wife or some shit, and then left there, went to a gas station and fell asleep. So she was like, so you went and physically checked on the baby mama, but didn't come and check up on me. I was like, boop, you got it right, girl. You right. That's some fucked up shit. He ain't even called your ass. He done physically took his whole ass over to her house, but didn't even give you a damn call to see if you was alright. So, and then she was just like, you left me there by myself. Like, even if we together and they sit up here coming at me and you just gonna let them do that? Like, you ain't even gonna come and stand up for me in no kind of way? Like, at all? So, that's what she was pissy bad at. And she had every right to be. So now she done took all his shit, throwing it off the balcony and shit. And I guess they're done, finally. Now, bitch, if you go back to this man still after he done dogged you out in multiple ways, don't be like Rasheeda. Do not be like Rasheeda popping that bubble gum. Don't do it, girl. Leave his ass alone. I don't know what more he needs to do to say that he a fuck nigga. But yeah, that was the episode, y'all. That was a good one. That was a legit good one. I enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed my review of it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. Hello to my new subscribers. How y'all doing? Thank you guys so much for all your love and support. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.